Good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Compared to when we last spoke, which was a month or two ago, has the drought eased at all in those areas?
Good evening, Sally. No, it's gone much worse. The dams are far more empty. The heat is affecting the rate of evaporation, so the demands are much more higher. The calls we are getting now is not from select areas, it's from more areas in the Eastern Cape. Last time when I spoke to you, we were doing clip plant. Since then, areas where we already had boreholes, for example, in Adelaide, the water has been shut off for quite a few days. Right now we're drilling there, although we've drilled there previously. We have to drill more boreholes, and today after the hydrologist, Dr Imtiaz, drilled the borehole, he said it's not enough. Even though we've put so many here, this place is in a crisis, we need to drill a few more. And like that, we're getting calls like from Peddie. Peddie's, the municipality called us, we met them last week Monday, and they said, look, we're sorry to say, 32 boreholes were drilled here by a contractor, and not a drop of water was found. We need to drill again. And so they've asked us if we can step in. The same requests have been coming from other areas, Fort Beaufort, Mooiplaas, Kala, Kromi, Butterworth, Amtata. It's all over.
Last time we spoke, you were awaiting a meeting with the Water Affairs Minister, Lindiwe Sisulu, about working closer with government. Has that meeting happened? And are you working hand in hand with government?
We've been working hand in hand with Lindiwe Sisulu for quite a long time. And that meeting happened, not the same time that I spoke to you, a little while later. And we had a few meetings last week and the week before. There's several processes involved. Internally, there's been changes in the Water Affairs Department. And then, of course, you have to get approval from Treasury. You have to wait for budgets. Budgets got approved last week only. And then those budgets have to be seen by some of the Director Generals and people in the different parts of the province in Eastern Cape. They are busy with that. And she said, look, there is a budget for water, but they have to follow the legal process, Treasury process. Government seems to have a lot of processes. But yes, we've been talking to her. We work very closely with her, and she wants us to assist, but they have to pass through the processes, and it has to be approved by government before anything can be done. By Treasury, when I say government, I mean Treasury.
All right. So we know that times are tight, but we're also seeing extraordinary acts of kindness from private citizens and also great donations from big business. Is that going to be enough to keep your drought relief efforts going in the meantime? You say the drought is getting worse, but will it be enough what you're getting in terms of donations?
Look, we have to be very grateful from the donations that have been coming. It's kept us going from March right up till now. We haven't run short, and our intervention hasn't decreased. It has substantially increased. I mean, this latest donation from Implats of 16 million is a huge boost to us. We've delivered already 300,000 food parcels. It's not it's not a small amount of items that we've done, and the funding is still coming, fortunately. Yes, much more funding is required. If the additional funding was there, then of course we wouldn't have to wait for government to make funding available. I mean, Butterworth is in crisis, Amtata is in crisis, and boreholes are not cheap. That's the problem. A quality borehole could cost anything from 150 to 500,000, depending on the depth of drilling, the type of material you're going to put inside, the backup system. It could be very, very expensive. So any amount of funding, would be beneficial, because we're not looking only at boreholes, the food parcels, its feeding centers, and the hunger. The hunger is increasing. Before there were only kids. Now there's adults in the queue, and the queues are getting longer, and more people are coming because more people have lost their jobs, more people have less income, and the crisis is just getting bigger and bigger. And then, of course, the hospitals. With the COVID-19 coming, whether it's the second wave or not, we don't know. But in the Eastern Capes, we are flooded with calls from hospitals, all in panic mode. Please, we need PPEs, we need isolation centers, we need oxygen machines, we need oxygen, we need pulse oximeters, we need beds, and it's just flooding in with requests from hospitals, and that also is a lot of investment that's required, and it's urgent, and you can see the medical staff are drained, they're demotivated, they're depressed, and they're scared.
Yes, so Give to the Givers, of course, as you say, is also trying to assist with the COVID relief efforts and bringing equipment to the hospitals. What is the latest in terms of the areas that have been identified as hotspots, Nelson Mandela Bay and Sarah Baartman? You say that you're getting lots of phone calls, but what are you able to establish about what's actually happening with the virus in those areas?
Well, it's rising. It's certainly climbing. I'll give you an example. On Saturday, we spoke to the doctors in Livingston, Dora and Giza, Port Elizabeth Provincial, and the field hospital. and they were very demotivated. They spoke to them on Friday. They were very depressed, demotivated. We were doing a run with bikers to drop off items at food kitchens. And the bikers, we said, okay, let's go past the hospital, pep them up, hooter them, and take the PPEs and supplies to the hospital. They said, look, all the beds are full. Today we were at Adelaide Hospital. The Adelaide Hospital got a call from Port Elizabeth to say, please don't send any more patients. We cannot take your patients. Our beds are full. There's no way we can accommodate any more patients in Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. That was instruction from the top management that came to Adelaide Hospital whilst we were there today. That call came. As we were in Cecilia Makawane on Friday, they said 70 patients in the hospital already. They're going to run out of space. In Makanda, there's already 70 patients or more. In Midlands Hospital, in Graaff-Reinet, the patients are climbing. And now along the Garden route, which is Western Cape, you can see the numbers are rising in that area. So the whole route, if you look at Garden route, coming downwards towards Port Elizabeth, upwards in the Karoo to Graaff-Reinet, East London, King Williamstown, the patients that came from the Walton Sisulu University, from Fort Hare, the numbers are rising. And even other hospitals, the names that you don't hear in the media, they're calling us and said, the numbers are climbing, please can you come and PPEs to us. So Eastern Cape is in trouble.
Well, thank you very much for that update. Some hopeful news on the drought front, but of course a long way to go there, and also with the Eastern Cape's fight against COVID-19. That, of course, was Dr Imtiaz Sooliman, Director of the charity Gift of the Givers.